Are they doing any discounts or no?
This is a discounted price. The reason why we got 15% is because we lowered the prices. Otherwise, they were not going to do it. So we have to bait them with lower prices to also drop their interest rate. They started off at 21%. So you can imagine how much of a hack bargain we get there.
So this is your company. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. Hey Battles, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, I'm Miss Bahamian Goddess, and I have documented my journey from Dallas, Texas, all the way here to Accra, Ghana. And today our topic is about shopping. All the ladies know that shopping is our thing. So yes, I need to go car shopping. No. The car insurance people did not pay me for my car yet. So I know that was me a question when I said I'm going car shopping. No, they didn't pay me. I'm still waiting on the fire report to happen. But being here, I wanted to go ahead and start looking at certain cars on what I want to purchase. So I'm debating on either doing the route that I went before, which is shipping from out of the country and bringing it into Ghana, or just going ahead and just buying it here. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys a few things about the process here on what I have found and which the direction I might go that suits my needs, but also I wanna share the same information with you guys. So let's stay tuned and let's talk about what it costs to purchase certain cars here, as well as they are now selling electric cars here in Ghana. So let's see those between gas, hybrid, or full electric here in Ghana. So stay tuned. And we're back. Yes. So let's talk about shopping for cars. I don't think I'm going to wait for the insurance company to let me know if they're going to pay me out for the car for me to get it repaired, or if they found it fully totaled to pay me for the value of my car, because it's been a month now. The accident happened on the 3rd of April, and now I think it's the 4th of May, and I still have not gotten my fire report yet. So I am going shopping to see my options, and one of those options that I came across on TikTok was electric cars here in Ghana. So I'm going to show you guys the video of the electric cars that they have here and how much they cost. Now, I don't mind buying an electric car because I will be building my house here. So I'm just assuming, like, I guess if I go ahead and buy me a car here, I can charge it here at this house. And then when you see my house is finished, then I will implement where it can automatically be plugged in directly into the home socket there. So that's what I was thinking. Now, I do have a budget on what I want to pay for the car, but I came across so many different options they have where, similar to the States, where you can put zero down based on, your credit and over the course of 3 years and 6 years. There's 2 different banks that does it. Now, the interest rate is high. It's definitely high. But for those who don't mind, paying that interest rate, it maybe can help you out financially in the long run, just doing it this way, so that you can always have, money in your pocket, or your savings doesn't deplete and you want to go this route. I think this would be a good idea as well. So let's talk about the cars here. So now I was thinking about just getting me just a small little Toyota Vic. I was like, Tori, you don't need anything fancy. I know the kind of car that I do want, but right now I was thinking, let me just get me a little Toyota Vic. Then when my house is finished, then I can buy the car that I really want to match my house. In the States, we call it someone driving a nice car and they pull it up to a shack, So, I was like, let me just buy me a little small car, just to get around from point A to point B. And those cars are like 130 to like 180, 200 Ghana cedis for a 2013. And I'm like, that's a no. So I went over to La Paz where they sell all these cars, and I went to different ones, and I don't have no videos of them because I really didn't feel like it was even worth me recording because the cars was not up to par at all. They were just poorly, you can tell that either they were poorly used or they were in a wreck and they fixed it, or you can tell it was broke down and they fixed it. Like that's just how dramatic it was, and I can tell. And me, I can tell the paint. I don't care how good a person went and got their car painted. For some reason, I can spot it. It's just that glare just don't look the same as a car that comes from the manufacturer paint. So I went there, and that was a drought. So I was like, okay, that's not gonna work. Now, they also have where you can purchase online. There's a company called AutoWin. Now, they have some really, really, really good deals. You can buy and ship it here. They have the cost to buy and ship it here to Ghana, and then you can get it cleared at the port. And they actually have an agent here that's in Ghana that will do the clearing for you. Now, unfortunately, you will have to wait until after you purchase the car to know how much the clearing is going to be on this end. But the good thing is it takes 45 to 60 days to get here. So hopefully within that 2 month frame or a month and a half frame, you can save some money to pay for the clearing if you don't have it all in one bulk. So that was one that I did find, and I find a few cars there that I like. And they do sell Korean cars, and they sell also American brand cars. Now for me, I was not looking to buy any more American cars. My last car was a BMW, and I'm like, I don't want that anymore. So I'm now looking at Chinese or Korean cars. That's what I'm looking for. As well as my car was a 2015. I think I want something more newer, so I don't want it to be no more than 3 years old or brand new. Those are my options. I don't want nothing less than 3 years old or brand new. So I'm starting to take on the way how I do things in the States when I purchase a car. None of my cars have ever been under 3 years old. All of my cars, since I can remember, I've always purchased something that was at least 3 years old or newer. So closer to either brand new or is 3 years old. So I feel like now that this car did not last me a year, that I think I want to go that route. I think I want to just stick to what I know, right? So that is one thing. So I saw a few cars that is there on AutoWin that I absolutely like, and I'm going to stick the website here. So just in case you guys want to look and see and find you guys some cars. Now, I've done my research, and I have found me some cars that I can buy directly from China, where it will be like $10,000 for a brand new car, $12,000, $13,000 for a brand new car to get it shipped here to Ghana. I was looking that route as well, and I will show you guys some picture as well so that you can see the type of cars that I was looking at that's brand spanking new. We're talking about 2024 or 2025. The youngest one I think I've seen was a 2023, and even that was just immaculate. I was like, okay, it just makes me feel the way how I be feeling, when I be driving my car. So I like those right there. Now, what you're gonna miss is, what you're going to see next is me showing you guys the cars that I saw. So let me give you some places that you can go to if you want the route of doing financing. Toyota does financing, 0 down, 5 years to pay. The interest rate is 38%. Now, if you want to put something down, I think it'll be great. But if you don't, then they'll do the payment plan straight out. Suzuki also do payment plan for financing. I should say financing. And theirs as well is about they say 3.5% monthly, 38 annually. So 38%. Now, what I didn't too much care for with Suzuki, they do have in-house, where they only give you 1 year to pay. But then they have where you go through a bank. They have a plethora of bank that they go through, similar they do in the States. And the thing I didn't really too much care for is if I wanted to pay it off early, then they will charge you an additional 3 months on whatever the balance is. So let's say you had it for 1 year and you're ready to pay it off. Well, when you pay that money balance off, they're going to tack on an additional 3 months to it for you to break the contract to be able to pay it off early. Now, the cars there is pretty decent. I don't know if you guys seen the Uber cars around here, the Suzuki Espresso or the Suzuki Swifts. Now, the Suzuki Espresso was about 230 or maybe 220, I think, something like that, between 230 Ghana cedis. They worked out a deal for me and gave me a deal of 212 Ghana cedis. Now, they require you to put 40% down, and then the rest is spread over 3 years. And when they calculated that for me, it was like over 10,000 Ghana cedis a month. And then they had the Suzuki Swift, which was 283,000 Ghana cedis. And the lowest they would go was 170, I think, 170. And they require as well 40% down. And the payments for that was 18,000, over 18,000 Ghana cedis. So that there I was like, I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money for that type of car. Okay. Now they do have other cars, but I didn't want to go over a certain budget. And if I'm going to go over that certain budget, then it needs to be a car that's, worth that type of budget. But they have that. Now, I also went to EcoBank. So EcoBank has an agreement with another company. I cannot remember their name, but they have some electric cars. And there was one that I was very much interested in, and I'm about 70% thinking more to buy it than not to. They had a plethora of different cars based on different tax bracket that you can afford. The cheapest they had was 220,000 or 30,000, I think, Ghana cedis. I think it was 230 Ghana cedis, similar to the Suzuki Swift. It was the same size as that, all the way up to a small SUV. And then moving forward, the next price was about 364 Ghana cedis for the small SUVs. But I will tell you guys the price in the video so you guys will know what they look like and how much each one costs, because saying it right now, you won't know when I show you the video. So I'll just show the video and then I will tell you in the video which ones have the price. Now, the good thing about that is EcoBank has 0 down and giving you 6 years to pay, as well as it's a 15% interest on it. Now, yes, it's high, but compared to 38 and 36%, I think that's better. Now, when we did the payment plan for it, the payment plan was a little over 7,000, and I was thinking about doing 40% down, and then I can do my payments that way, and then I can pay it off in a year. And that payment was like a little over 4,000 Ghana cedis. So that's more doable, as well as the car is it's nice. It's nice. So now the downside is there's not a lot of electric charging stations within Ghana, and this company only has 3. They have one in Spintex, one at ANC Mall, and then they are trying to put another one in Airport. Now, I think that's a good business to get into if anybody is interested in that, getting some charging stations in, Cape Coast, Kumasi, in the Volta region, and the Eastern and Western region, and even at Accra Mall. There's none there. or putting some, at a major office building, like Regis, like places like that, because I think that's a great business to get into. Because I think that's where it's gonna go. I feel that a lot of people is gonna move into this electric cars to save money on the gas. And when I was there, it was a lot of different cultures there, different type of people there, and they were interested in these cars. So I feel that that will be the move for Ghana, going in that direction. They already have electric buses here already for the people to use to get to and from wherever they're going. So I think that's where, so that's a good idea to do. But let's go ahead and see these cars that EcoBank is selling, because I really, 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 really like my car. I'm like, just talking right now, I don't know, I'm like now 80% because I really, really want it. And I don't know if I want to go and buy it in China and then get it shipped over, or just go ahead and get it here, because I need a car. Like, I've been taking the Uber, and where I live now is not, in an area that a lot of Uber or Bolt come to. And where I lived previous in Hacho, I can catch it like that. It was nothing, so, and I didn't really and then when I got my car, I didn't need it anymore. But that's, I would say that 4 or 5 months, I was using my driver. And then the last month I was using Uber, and I didn't have any problems. But now it's hard for me to get a driver, so I think I'm going to have to hire me a driver. And I'm like, if that's the case, I might as well take that money and get me a car. So let's see these cars that's at EcoBank, okay? So Battles, let me tell you, oh my God, I was just falling in love with these cars. But this particular car right here, it costs 1.3 million Ghana cedis. And as you see, somebody was already inside of it. They were actually closing on a deal, because I opened up the door to it, and they were actually signing papers. But yeah, this one here was as well 958,000 Ghana cedis. It wasn't open for me to be able to show you guys, but the inside was very nice. It had that cognac, or you guys call it peanut butter inside. It was very, very nice. This is something that I was also looking at and I wanted, but it was out of my price range. I don't think that is worth 69,000 USD. Now this here car is the same as the one I just showed you guys. It's a smaller version, and for some reason they had it only 20,000 less. So this one was actually 936,000 Ghana cedis, and this is the BYD that everybody's been talking about on TikTok, and inside is just gorgeous. Now all these cars that you see, I'm not able to go inside. There are people inside that's actually talking about signing their contracts, so wasn't able to go in all of them. Some of them I was able to go and look at. This one here was also I think he said 2.6 million Ghana cedis, and it's nice. It's very, very nice. And this guy here in the red actually was waiting on the person inside to get out so that he can go in and purchase this item right here. This car was absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Like, it's nice. It's very nice. So these cars are all electric cars. They're not hybrid, and they are at the headquarters for EcoBank. So this is where they're at, and they actually was only doing it for a week, so I'm not sure if they're still there, but the company itself is in Chado, so you can go there. Now this monster right here reminds me of the Mercedes. I think you guys know who I'm talking about. Yeah, this one here is also 3.6 million Ghana cedis, and it put you in the mind of the Mercedes G-Wagon. That's what it puts me in the mind of. But it's really, really nice. Now, unfortunately, I realized the bigger you go, the less miles you have. This one I was told only go 340 kilometers, which still is not bad, but depending on where you go, some charging stations charges 5 CDs per kilometer, and then some charge a flat 180 CDs for a full charge. So you just have to find those charging stations that's within the budget you're looking for. But if you can afford this type of car, then you ain't looking for a budget. You're just looking for a charging station. But yes, isn't this beautiful? This is a beautiful, beautiful car. And the color is nice. Just a little bit too loud for my liking, but it's very nice. Now, this is my car. This is the car. It's called a Netta, and it is 364,000 Ghana cedis, and I am absolutely loving it. It is like a mini SUV. It's not too small and not too big, and I just think it's very, very beautiful. Now, this car over here is 680,000 Ghana cedis, and I like it. I did. It was in my budget. I just, I don't want no more car. I don't want a car. These Ghana roads, I don't want a car. So that's the only reason why I didn't, pick this one. But the inside was still nice, and I like it. And I love that panoramic roof. Oh my God, it reminds me of my Porsche at home. So yeah, I'm in love with it. And the back of it is beautiful too. It still reminds me of the Porsche, the way how the back looks, but I like it. But this one here is the baby. This is the car. Oh, I keep not showing my car. Like, hopefully I go back to my car. because I was showing this one so much, doing this one, because I really, really was contemplating on getting this one. Okay, guys, so I know now you have saw these cars, and I know that you're just as excited as me on how pretty they are inside. Some of them I couldn't go inside because people were sitting inside doing business. They were literally closing deals inside the car. So I couldn't really go inside some of them to see the front of them, but those that I was able to go into, it was just beautiful. It really, really was. And I'm thinking like, I'm thinking more like, okay, the cost for me and how much money I spent on diesel, because that's the car I had diesel. And I was spending about 800 CDs to fill up that car. So, and it only costs 180 CDs to fill up a charge, okay? On one charge, you can get 180 CDs, and it drives 401 kilometers. So that's a good distance. So with that, I was just, amazed. So I hope you guys like those cars. And if you're interested, again, EcoBank at the headquarters is where they're at. And they are the ones who are doing the financing. The catch-22 is you do have to open up a bank account with EcoBank. Now, I was speaking to somebody for the behalf of diaspora, because I know a lot of us don't have, employments here, and that's one of the requirements as well. So let me go back. All of them are like that, okay? Toyota, Suzuki, as well as EcoBank. They want you to be an employee here. They want to see a paycheck, and most of us don't have paychecks here. And if you do have a business, they want at least a year. Suzuki would take 6 months, but Toyota wants a year, as well as EcoBank. They want a year to show that you've been making money. So that's kind of like a hurdle that we have to try to cross over. But like I always say, there's always ways to skin a cat. So if you go to the headquarters and let them know that you're a diaspora, they told me that they do have some exemptions for certain things, that if you can prove that you make money, and if you get it every month, then they just want to see that you transfer those funds into that bank account every month to be able to pay for your car. So I think that's not too bad. So the good thing about it is, if that is something that you want, and that's something that can help you out, in the long run, economically, and financially, then I think this is the best bet for some of you guys. Some of you guys who, choose to want to just pay it outright, you can do that as well. But I'm always tell you, do your research on these cars, and as well as do your research on see if you can get it somewhere else cheaper, because they are not the only one who sells electric cars. I found some going on Spintex as well for the Jetor. That is the car that I'm actually thinking about purchasing before I saw the Netta, but because that's my name. So they have others, okay? They have others in Accra that does sell electric cars, and some of them are cheaper than what is there. But still do your research, okay? Do not just go out there and just be like, oh, I like this car, and then buy it, and then you all the way out in Timor, and ain't no way for you to, charge it all the way out there, especially if you're renting, okay? Because if you're renting, you also have to try and get permission with your landlord to be able to hook this up to your electricity so that you can charge your car. All right. So there's so many avenues and so many things that you have to think about than just going and purchasing. But again, thank you so much for watching. And like I always tell you guys, what's for you, no one can take it away, not even yourself. So until next time, bye.